Hi guys, this is monkeysnuts.com. In this vlog, I'm gonna be talking about I'm gonna be discussing basically information for new drivers, and it's gonna kind of be a bit of a review of my car as well. The only reason I'm putting the review in this video is that, well, my car is basically perfect for new drivers. I mean, it's tiny. It's got a relatively small engine. The visibility out of it's really good. Really easy to park, and it's a nice car to drive. So what I'm going to do today is head up to the castle, and then I'll do like a little walk around of my car. And then I'll talk a little bit about about sort of new driving and what it feels like for the first time and stuff like that. The castle looks like, yeah, that was the entrance to the castle, but it seems like there's actually some kind of event going on today, so give that a bit of a miss. A few too many people around. So I'll head up here and then go into St. Asa because it's easier that way. So yeah, driving for the first time, it can be a little bit daunting. I mean, if you're driving with like a friend or with your family for the first time, and you've got, say, I mean, I got provisionally insured on my mum's car for a little bit, and that was really good because we did little trips to the shops and things like that. The majority of the time, we just went to a car park somewhere, and I basically just learned to drive around there. However, that was after I had actually had a few lessons with my instructor, because I was at college at the time, so I had like 1 or 2 lessons, and then I got provisionally insured on my mum's car so that I could be driving at the weekend and things like that. I mean, I got to grips with driving relatively easily. I mean, the main problems that I had was setting off, because I couldn't quite get the clutch and sort of accelerate gas pedal. I couldn't really balance them correct, so I did tend to stall quite a lot. I mean, it's second nature to me now. I mean, I passed my test June last year, so that's only a few months away. I actually got a car in November last year, because that's basically how long it took for me to get all the money together for the car, as well as finding a car that was right really for me. Because all the cars that I found which were under £1,000, they were all really not nice cars. I mean, they were falling to bits. They were really old. They had rust all over them. It's just fortunate really that me and my dad were just driving around local showrooms, and on the way home we saw this around the corner, just with the little sign in the back with a price on and a phone number. So we gave the guy a call. He came down. My dad gave the car a little test drive. We asked him questions about it and stuff. Everything on it looked sound. Gave them a call later on, and they were willing to take £40 off the actual price, which was really good. I was surprised that they actually took that much off. And yeah, I got insured, went and picked it up, drove it home, and that's pretty much it. And then now we're here, really. So I mean, it was a lovely. I mean, it's a brilliant car to drive. I mean, there's not much to it. I've very rarely stalled this because it's so easy to drive, and the car is very forgiving. So I think it's really nice, actually. So this is St Asaph Industrial Estate. This is the top part of it. I'll just head down into the bottom part where the police station is. And there's a few more, there's like a big college building down there as well. Yeah, so like I say, it's an easy car to drive. I'll just pop down here and then I'll do a little walk around of it. In terms of passing your driving test, I mean, some people just want to get it done over and done with, really, and done as quick as possible because it costs quite a lot, really. Well, it tends to cost quite a bit. There are, I mean, the instructor that I had, I mean, he explained to me that he's had people passing 20 hours worth of lessons, and he has also had people pass in 60, 70 hours worth. So it depends entirely on what type of, I mean, it's just the natural ability, really, to be able to get hold of, to be able to get used to it. So it varies between people. So I'll have a little walk around of the car now, anyway. So as you can see, this is my car. The main plus points to this car is that, as you can see, it's got a flat back, which means that you can basically reverse up to something until it's right up to the rear window. It makes parking really, really easy. I haven't hit anything when reversing yet. I mean, that's pretty much it. Another plus point is that on the mirrors, a fitment that I have actually made, is blind spot mirrors. This is because when I was learning to drive, my instructor had blind spot mirrors on his car, and they're incredibly better when you park. They make life a lot easier when you're parking, because you can see where the white lines are in the parking space. The bonnet isn't too long, which means that you can easily see what's in front of you, and I mean, visibility in it is really, really good. You can see the major blind spots in this car really are these parts of the arches. But when you're in the driving seat, you can easily move your head around and get past them. That's pretty much it. The turning circle on this car is really, really good. You can easily get around many roundabouts and do U-turns at them and things, even though you're not really supposed to. But I mean, that's pretty much it about the car. It's a 1.1 litre, so engine size is, I mean, the power on it is absolutely fine. The car is very light, which means that it doesn't need a lot of power really to be able to move. In terms of fuel consumption, it can do about 350 miles on a tank. Nowadays it costs about £45 to top it up right when it's empty, basically, to when it's full. The problem with it being yellow is, I mean, it gets filthy really easily. So I mean, I've cleaned this about 5-6 times. So you should be cleaning it basically about a week, every week, and checking all the levels in it and stuff, making sure that you're not running out of oil or anything.
because what the police are doing now is, even if you've got no washer fluid in your car, they can still do you about that. They can still give you like a fine and fixed penalty notice for not having enough washer fluid in your car. So yeah, just things that you need to bear in mind, really. So I'll pop back in the car now and carry on talking.
Right guys, so in terms of the driving test, it's nowhere near as, well, from my experience, it's nowhere near as difficult as everyone sort of made it sound, really. My examiner, he was really nice. We had chats and stuff about what I was doing, about college and stuff like that. I mean, he was really friendly. I mean, the instructors are not there to make you feel sort of basically scared or anything. They're there just to see what you're doing, see if you're a safe driver. So what they'll try and do is calm your nerves by just having a chat with you, get to know you a little bit. They don't have to. If you don't want to talk to them and you want to concentrate more on your driving, by all means, you don't have to respond to them, just ignore them. Or just say, I prefer just to concentrate on what I'm doing. But I personally felt that someone talking to me and chatting with me on the odd occasion, it helped me basically calm my nerves. He was a nice chap. The one thing that I will bring up is that sometimes things that your instructor tells you will happen on your exam don't actually happen on your exam. The manoeuvre that I did, well, I actually did two manoeuvres. One was what was it? I think I did the 3-point turn, and I did the bay parking. So the main thing that my instructor said on the bay parking thing was that the examiner should ask you if you're happy with the manoeuvre, and you're allowed to say no once, and then you're allowed to go forwards once and get basically a better position in the parking space. This didn't happen on my exam though. I parked in the bay, and the instructor, the examiner, basically just got out straight away. He didn't ask me if I was happy or not, which was a little bit concerning, really. But I mean, the only problem that I had with that was that when I actually stopped and got out, I was actually stopped on the line of the parking space, and the instructor the examiner explained to me that if I had been over the line, I would have actually failed, but because I was just on it, he put me down as a minor. But you see, if he allowed me time, if he'd actually asked me if I was happy and I'd said no and was able to adjust, I might have just stopped in the space and not even got a minor. Talking about minors and majors and serious and the little things that they put on your driving test sheet thing. When I had 3 mock exams basically with my instructor before the actual exam. The first mock exam, I basically failed it straight away. Not straight away, but I failed it about halfway through because I nearly pulled out on a roundabout in front of someone. And then the subsequent 2, I got 8 minors and then I got 7 minors. So I mean, things already started looking good, really. The one thing that I would say is that you need to show progress basically in your mock exams. So if, say, you got 7 minors and then you got 10 minors, your instructor would be probably a little bit concerned about that. So it's always good to show progress, and that progress paid off basically, because in my exam I got 6 minors. So maybe if I had like another few exams or mock exams, I could have got it down to like 1 or 2 minors. I don't quite think that would have happened, but I mean, it's always worth bearing in mind. So your mock exams don't necessarily have any impact on your final exam, because you might be doing mock exams quite a few weeks before your final exam, so you've got plenty of time to practice what you've been taught, and get your driving standards better. My exam took 45 minutes, and I did about 30 miles, and that incorporated a dual carriageway, little suburb roads, main roads, and driving around a few residential streets. It was a nice drive, actually. It was a nice sunny day. I think it was sunny. I did not wear my sunglasses. However, you are allowed to on your test. The only reason I didn't wear my sunglasses was that I felt that I would be better suited in case of sort of like cloud cover came over to actually wear my normal glasses. And that was quite a good plan, really, because it did get cloudy towards the end of the exam. So yeah, like I say, don't get worried basically about the exam being difficult or long or hard, because it really isn't. I mean, once you've had all your practice with your examiner with your instructor, that takes the nerves away, really, knowing that you can drive relatively well. Your examiner's there basically to keep you safe as well, so he won't let you get involved in a crash or anything like that. If you make a mistake, you've just made the mistake. It's a learning curve basically. So if you don't pass your test first time, which I did, you've got plenty of time to do it again, and learn from your mistakes. Because what my instructor did was that even though I passed my exam first time, he still went through the examiner's results list. So he still discussed the points which have been made, and we discussed how I would improve and how to go about things in the future, basically. Yeah, it was a pleasant experience, to be honest. And when you're first on the exam, you get a few butterflies, and I very nearly failed the exam straight away because I actually stalled twice. And the examiner said that if I'd failed a third time, if I'd stalled a third time, that would have been a fail. But because I only did it twice, he put me down as a minor. Which I got by basically by the skin of my teeth, because the reason I stalled twice was purely because of nerves. But I mean, nerves are natural. If you're not nervous going into the exam, then it means that you've not done well enough, basically. you've not practiced enough. Because no one should go into the exam confident. That's basically that about the actual test. So about actually having a car for your first time. I mean, especially with lads, and it tends to be with girls quite nowadays. You do get the boy racer type of people, and I'm not gonna lie and say that I've not floored it a few times and gone around a corner a bit faster than I wanted to. I mean, I've only done that when there's been no one else around, so that if I do have a crash, I'm the only one who's gonna be involved, basically, and it'll be my own stupid fault. So all I would say to new drivers basically is, by all means, drive fast, drive like a lunatic, but do it when no one else is around. So number one, you don't get caught doing it, and number two, no one else, basically, you don't hurt anyone by doing it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, I mean, this is a 60-mile-an-hour road, but I'm doing under 45 on it. This is a bit of a dodgy road to be doing 60 on, but you can do 60, just not around these bends, basically. Because you just don't know what's going to be around the next corner, so you need to be thinking well ahead. Something that your instructor might not teach you unless you actually go on country roads. You certainly can't do 60 mile an hour on 60 mile an hour on that type of road, basically. It's like it's still 60 along here, but you can't do it. It's like I'm doing 40 now, and the car can't really, well, it can go a bit faster around that bend, but you shouldn't be going much faster, really. So, and you never know if there's going to be like a big lorry or a tractor in the middle of the road. Like, I think something just crossed the road here. I think it was a fox or something. It's like, right, I'm doing 60 mile an hour now on this road, which it is legal to do. And I mean, it's all right doing it on these straight bits, but here with this bend, it's really difficult to keep that speed up, because like that van is parked on the wrong side, on the other side of the road. That car could easily just go onto my side of the road to avoid that van, which by all means they can do. But you just need to bear in mind how in control of the car you actually are. So just to give you an update of where I am. I'm just leaving Rialt, or Riacht, or however you want to say it. I prefer Rialt though. It's a lovely little place. I was just on the old A55 road there, for locals who might know it. I'm heading up to a little village called Cum now, and yes, it has got a bit of a funny name. This is a lovely road to go up, especially when all the sun's out and it's shining through the trees. Now you see, this is a national speed limit road, however, no way can you be doing 60 up or down this, because it's single track, so you have no idea what's going to be coming around the next bend. So I'm only really happy doing 40 on here at the max. I mean, I'm doing less than 30 now, about 25 actually, but you can't go around flooring it all the time, because number one, your fuel's just going to disappear. It's like if I do careful driving in this car, I can get 350 miles out of it. However, yeah, you see, I was going a little bit fast then, but not too fast that I couldn't stop. Those two people were nice because they were coming downhill. Yeah, you need to understand rights of way as well on these roads, because there's a lot of ups and downs. Now they were both coming downhill, I was going uphill, so they had right of way, and the fact that that woman at the front didn't, she had a car behind her, means that she couldn't reverse anyway. So I mean, you need to. It's not just, oh, I've got right of way, you need to move. You need a bit of common sense, a bit of courtesy, basically. It's like I'm doing 40 now. I'm not going to go any faster around here, especially when there's bloody pheasants in the road. Fucking hell. Pheasants are my new hate. That's one thing that I really do hate. I mean, any other creature will get out of your way. Pheasants, they bloody well won't. They'll just stay there and walk really, really slowly. They've got wings. It's like, why did that pheasant not just fly out of the way? Does he want to be a pie? That's tea sorted then, isn't it? Yeah. Right, what type of car should you get for a first driver? I mean, it tends to be, well, it can be nowadays, parents buying you your first car and things like that. So this info's really for parents as well. The car needs to be a hatchback. Basically, as a basic rule is that it needs to be a hatchback. This is only really to make parking easier, because yeah, it's difficult really. Well, I don't think it is difficult, because if you've got a big boot, you can tend to see where the back of the car is. So I don't think there's much of a problem really having a bigger car. But I mean, having a hatchback means that automatically the insurance will go down. Hatchbacks tend to be low insurance groups. I don't know what insurance group this is, but I can imagine it's a 2 or a 3. Just a bit of information that I found out was that Vauxhall Corsas, new and old, they are they're insurance group 1. And Skoda, I think it's Fabius or something like that. They're insurance group 1 as well, and as well as Fiat Pandas. So basically, if you get like a 1 litre engine Vauxhall Corsa, that's as cheap as you will get it on the insurance, basically. However, getting a Vauxhall Corsa, you've got to bear the problems that come with it in mind. I mean, my car is Italian, so the electrics aren't very good on it. The front fog lights don't work. The boot release is broken in the car. There's something else in here that doesn't work as well. But it's nothing major. I mean, it went through its last MOT fine, even with all these faults. So, but with the Vauxhall Corsa, there are some more serious problems. Like my mum's, it's actually had a leak in the windscreen or somewhere that we could not find. So my dad tried fixing it with like waterproof foam and stuff, which didn't really work, because the carpets were just swimming in water, and it was a horrible thing really to have in a car. And a common problem in Vauxhall Corsas is that the handbrake doesn't work really. It doesn't work very well. So you can pull the handbrake up, and it might not actually hold you on a hill. So I mean, that is a bit of a concern. So I mean, Vauxhall courses, they're all right really, as long as you can manage without a handbrake and with the floor swimming in water, then that's fine. So yeah, for a first car, I mean, I heard from someone actually that if you get a 1.4 engine or a 1.6 engine diesels, then the insurance can be cheaper, but I mean, I didn't find that. I was doing insurance quotes on bigger engine cars, and the insurance was not going down, so I'd say stay away from that side of things really. The perfect cars really to be looking for are 1.2s and 1.1 litres. For my model of car, they actually made a 900cc version, so that's a 0.9 litre engine. All I would say about that is you're not going to be able to basically take your mates out in that car. You're not going to have the power to get anywhere really. It's just good that the one that I bought was the 1.1, the top of the range one. There's two limited edition vehicle models above this, which are the Michael Schumacher limited edition and the Abarth Seicento. But the Sporting tends to be pretty common really. I've seen a few around. I think I've seen 2 or 3 in my area. Oh, and that's another thing. When you actually do get your first car, even if it's like a relatively unpopular car like mine, you see them all over the place. It's like my dad, he's just bought a BMW E39. And we keep seeing them all over the place. It's like before that he had a Mercedes E320, and we saw that all over the place. So it's just weird really seeing your own car, because you don't really think of yourself driving it. So it's not the image that you get. It's like this car, it's tiny, it's quite narrow actually, but when you're inside, there's plenty of room in it. So yeah, for a first car, a little hatchback, a little 1 litre or 1.2. Vauxhall courses tend to be 1.2s. And just with a little engined car, you're not going to be getting enough speed up really to be able to kill yourself, but just try and be careful really. I mean, I try and be careful, but I do go quite fast at some times. Just got to be careful on this corner for the cyclist. See, I would have pulled over a little bit just to let the car go by. I don't know if he did pull over for me or if he was actually just sorting himself out, but I mean, he looked nice and warm anyway. He had one of those balaclava things on that I tend to have. Yeah, anyway, I didn't really want this to be a too long vlog. That's why I've only gone around little towns and things. So yeah, I've been through Cum, then I went to, down to Dizzard at the traffic lights. Now I'm going into, oh, what's it called? I think it's not Trefnan, is it? It's called something else, this little town up here that I'm coming up to now. So yeah, That's basically it for this vlog. Running out of things to talk about now. So I've done the important vlogs that I wanted to do. So they might not be coming out as regularly as the first few have, unless people start sending me things that they want me to talk about. Yeah, this has been monkeysnuts.com, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.